Come here. Come here, I want to tell you something. In 25 years of watching professional wrestling, bro, I have cracked the code. Every single wrestler. Think about Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, multi-time world champion, multi-time WrestleMania main eventer, to the lowest of jobbers, an unknown local that's being squashed by a big beefy man in that ring. They're all driven by the exact same thing. And once you see it, bro, I promise you, you can't unsee it. You can never watch wrestling the same way again. Anyways, bro, what's up, wrestling fans? If you like professional wrestling, bro, you have come to the right channel, the right spot right here on YouTube. My name is Mandi, and this is MandiMania, coming to you from South Africa. Yeah, I'm about to blow your mind with something that I feel like no other wrestling analyst has ever said before, but no one has had such a comprehensive analysis that I'm about to give you right now. It's just crazy. I've been thinking about it for like a really long time, bro. And when I say a long time, I don't mean like I've been like hyper fixating on it for like a couple of weeks, couple of days maybe, bro. I've been obsessed with professional wrestling for 25 years. Guess how old I am? You're wrong. I'm 25 years old. That's my entire lifespan that I have been obsessed with professional wrestling, bro. WWE, AEW, TNA, bro. I've seen them all come and I've seen them all go. Why did I say come like that? Anyways, bro, I've watched I've watched so many matches, bro. Every match, every storyline, every character transformation, bro. I've discovered one universal truth. Not that everyone wants to walk with Elias, no.
Who wants to walk with Elias?
The one universal truth is that there's one thing that connects every single storyline. Whether you're John Cena overcoming the odds, you're the Undertaker building an immortal legacy, you're Cody Rhodes trying to finish the story, bro, or you're a comedy jobber and you're getting squashed every week in 2 seconds. There's one psychological force that's driving every single thing that everybody does in that ring. And that one force is ambition. But I don't think it's not in the way that you think, though. But like let's contextualize it. What does ambition really mean? See, I think we need to take a step back real quick. I got a bit excited. Oh my days. But before you click away, okay, please don't click away. Before you click away thinking, obviously, like wrestling is simple. The guys want the championships. I'm talking about something that's like way deeper than that, way deeper than just chasing the titles. I'm talking about the fundamental, like, psychological engine that powers every single wrestling move, every single wrestling narrative that's ever existed, bro. Even the one about Kane and Undertaker being brothers and Undertaker burning down the funeral home. Trust me, bro. It's all connected. I'm gonna rambling a bit, but trust me, bro, it's gonna connect. It's gonna connect, all right? Just stay with me, all right? Ambition isn't just like wanting a championship. It's not just like about wanting gold around your waist. I think it's that, have you ever had like a burning, all-consuming desire to become the best version of yourself, to reach your absolute potential, prove something to the world or to yourself? I feel like that's something that we've all felt. I feel like if you're a wrestling fan, bro, and you heard me say those words, there's got to be at least one wrestler to come up in your... Take a second in the comments and tell me what wrestler came to your mind when I was saying all of this. Who does that describe? In my opinion, that describes John Cena. I'm just gonna say it. But yeah, man, in wrestling, this shows up almost everywhere. Like in championship goals, obviously, that's the obvious, right? But like in respect, in legacy, in proving doubters wrong, or just surviving a brutal, hardcore match. And here's what makes it beautiful. Ambition corrupts some wrestlers into villains and drives others to become heroes. It creates this almost unlikely alliances, these duos that you don't know if they can coexist, but it also like destroys the strongest of friendships. Even brotherhoods are torn apart because of ambition. It's the one thread that connects every single promo. It bleeds through, and once it clicked to me, I couldn't unsee it. I swear, bro. Every single match, every moment of storytelling, it all comes down to ambition. I'm gonna use a case study just to exemplify what I mean. I feel like there's no better example than the Shield.
I don't think anybody's going to want a rematch as
well. We all know the Shield, bro. Everyone knows the Shield. Everyone that watches professional wrestling knows the Shield. I feel like you might have seen a reference. When I do this, bro, you know what it is. You know what time it is, right? These three men were united by ambition, bro. And then they completely transformed when that same ambition pulled them in different directions. Think about this date right now. November 12th. No, not 12. November 18th, right? 2012. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, they just crashed through the crowd as the Shield. They weren't, at the time, they were just developmental guys. I had never seen them together until that point. These were three wrestlers whose individual ambitions aligned perfectly. They wanted to make an immediate impact to change the WWE forever. And for nearly 2 years, they were unstoppable. No one, you know for a fact, no one could stand up to the Shield.
Fight back, nigga! Fight back, nigga!
Bro, nobody. They would just jump through. Bro, there's a section by the barricade. It's called the Shield's Corner now. Like, that's the legacy that these three men have left behind, right? But anyways, bro, they wanted to make an immediate impact, right? They wanted to change WWE forever. They were unstoppable for 2, 3 years, bro. That run feels like it was much longer than it really was. It feels like it could have been longer. It could have lasted longer than it did, bro.
That's what she said.
They did in 2 years, bro. They were putting themselves in conversations such as like Four Horsemen, Evolution, NWO even, bro. The comparisons were crazy, but they were their own thing, right? But it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was perfect.
To the last minute details.
It was perfect. That was my era, man. That was beautiful. It was perfect. It was, my days, bro. Thinking about the Shield days, bro. We'll never be those kids again. What was I even saying, bro? Damn. Oh, man, they took out everybody. They took out rookies. They took out jobbers. They took out big megastars. They took out legends. Everyone, bro. If you stood in their way, guaranteed, bro, you were going to be ripped to shreds, right? But that's the thing about ambition, bro. Their individual ambitions were already pulling them apart. Before like, in their first year especially, not much was done to like show their individuality. They were still like a unit, right? They were a cohesive unit, right? They worked together for a goal, right? So there was this match. I'm going on a tangent here, but
Trust me, it's related. Please don't.
So it's related, right? They were in this match against the Wyatts, right? The Wyatt family. And that match just really showed the juxtaposition, just how different these two stables were. The Shield fighting as a team, as a unit for a goal. The Wyatts, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, they were tentacles to enforce Bray Wyatt's will. They were a hive mind. The Shield were bro, they were two different teams, bro. The way that they fought was so different. The Shield were like a tactical unit. The Wyatt Six, it was like Bray Wyatt had them in a genjutsu, bro. Everything they did because of their undying devotion to Bray Wyatt, because they believe in Bray Wyatt. Not just Bray Wyatt, but the message. And so that's why I feel like that match is one of the most perfect matches ever. God, I'll talk about that match, right? I promise. I swear, I promise. I will make a note on one of my sticky notes. Anyways, bro, let's go back to the Shield, right? That was a bit of a tangent. I might cut that one out. Depends on how much editing I want to do. But Seth Rollins himself, he was the architect, right? The tactical genius. He was the one holding everything together. But his ambition was being overshadowed, bro. Everyone saw Roman Reigns as the chosen one, bro. If you want to talk about aura, bro, a lot of people talk about Duke Dennis or whatever, bro. When you talk about aura, bro, especially in 2012, 2013, Roman Reigns, that was the guy, bro. He was an S tier aura farmer, bro, coming down through the crowd, bro, hair in his face. He didn't talk. All he said was believe in the Shield, and that was enough. He had all the huzz.
Nah, W Glaze, my nigga.
Everyone was going crazy for him, but even me, bro, it was just a force. He drew you in, right? So everyone saw that Roman Reigns is definitely a future star. And they weren't exactly wrong, right? He was the future face of the WWE. Dean Ambrose was this unpredictable wild card. Dean Ambrose on that mic, even till this day, bro, there are debates going on around Roman Reigns is the best now in the Shield in terms of like promo work, because he had that one unscripted promo, can no man knock me out? Can no man knock my button? If I have the button, you'll be able to locate it. This is my show. This is my ring. This is my camera. Right? You remember that promo? Everyone is like, oh yeah, the Roman Reigns is the best, but Jon Moxley is the best out of the three of them when it comes to promo. His indie work speaks for itself, bro. Please do me a favor and just go on to YouTube. There's an unlimited catalog of Jon Moxley promos, bro. After a CZW match, before a CZW match, everything, bro. His passion, his undying love and devotion, and just skill, ability to just draw you in with a narrative, to be able to weave a narrative with his words, not just his words, but with his mannerisms, and just, it didn't feel like he's portraying a character, bro. It feels like he's living his life right now, and he's sharing his stories because in most part it was real to him, and that is what made me attracted to Dean Ambrose.
What do you mean by that?
His character, and that's what made Dean Ambrose, because it was always interchangeable, right? Roman Reigns, Seth, Dean. Everyone was my favorites during different parts of their run for different reasons. Seth for me was the best in ring. He could fly across the ring, bro, like nobody's business. There's this one overplayed sequence from the Shield versus Wyatt's match where he did that hard tag. It was just going crazy, bro. They were gonna give him a German suplex from the top rope. He landed on his feet, ducks a clothesline, outside dive, duck goes it. Oh, bro, it was a sick sequence. But Seth was the best in terms of in-ring work. But underneath it all, right, he was doing the work, but like he wasn't really getting as much of like recognition as Roman and Dean. I mean, a lot of people were starting to speculate what would happen if they broke up. A lot of theories were that Dean and Seth might kick Roman out. Dean and then Roman would be like the star, right? It would be to propel Roman Reigns as the star. And a lot of people predicted that Roman would be world champion. Dean would even be world champion, but a lot of people kind of cast Seth out a bit. They didn't really see him like that, and I feel like that got to him, especially knowing the kind of guy that Seth Rollins is, right? He is very passionate about professional wrestling, but he's also a perfectionist, right? And you can see it eating him alive in those final months, especially like in those final moments in that final run, right? I mean, you have Triple H. He came calling, right? Let's talk about the run that they had before the breakup. That feud with Evolution. They sweeped Evolution clean. They sweeped Evolution. They beat them first in the 6-man, and then in the no holds barred elimination match, they 3 falls back to back, and they destroyed they beat Evolution so bad that Batista had to quit again. Batista said, "I quit again." And on that same night, the Shield is in the ring, bro. Randy Orton and Triple H come out. And I'm just thinking to myself, what are you gonna do? It's 3 of them and 2 of you. Triple H starts talking about there's always a plan B. And he starts jacking off his sledgehammer for some reason. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Seth has 3 steel chairs. He throws 2 away for some reason. I'm like, what the fuck? But anyways, he has 1 steel chair in his hands. And you know the story. He swings it into Roman Reigns. He cracks his back. And he ends the Shield. But why did I say cracks his back? But yeah, bro. So the story is Triple H came coming. He came calling to him, offering him a shortcut to individual greatness or whatever. And it worked because Seth's ambition had been corrupting him. That frustration of being overlooked and not being recognized as the architect of the Shield. right? And June 2nd comes, Seth destroys his brothers with the steel chair. He broke that steel chair on Dean Ambrose's back. It felt like he had a personal vendetta against Dean Ambrose. And bro, this heel turn was different from the others, bro. Just how visceral it was, just how violent it was, bro. It was ambition in its most disruptive form. It was so crazy to watch, bro. I wasn't crying because I'm a man, all right?
Oh my god! Even though you're from. Oh my god!
And also, like, but I was a teenager, but also I wasn't watching it alone, but I was really frustrated. I was really mad because I was also confused. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, whoa, that's your brother. But yeah, Seth's desire, bro, to prove that he was the best had twisted into something that was insane, bro. Something that required destroying everything that he helped build. It was so ironic, bro, because on the one breath he's talking about how much work he put into building this shield, and he was being the one that coordinated the shield attack and everything just to be the one to end it all. It's just like, in retrospect, that's just so crazy to think about. That really is. I mean, Roman's confusion, Dean's rage, their ambition to succeed as a unit was shattered by Seth's individual ambition, bro. I'm getting mad just thinking about it, bro. Just thinking about it, bro. But here's the beautiful part, though, because you think that such a betrayal could kill their momentum or kill their legacy, flatline their ambitions, but it actually redirected it. So Roman Reigns' ambition evolved from wanting to be part of something special to becoming something legendary, right? Years of fan rejection could have broken him, but his ambition it proved himself worthy. Eventually, he created the Tribal Chief, and it became the most compelling version of Roman we've ever seen. Probably the most compelling pieces of wrestling storytelling that we have ever seen, and it actually changed the way that every single person... Damn, I just farted. It changed the way that everybody watches wrestling. I mean, when we say wrestling is cinema, it all comes from the bloodline story. It all comes from the genesis of the Tribal Chief, right? Dean Ambrose's ambition was always about authenticity, being himself and not being shackled. Create. English is not my first language. But yeah, he didn't want to be bound, and he did feel... You could get that sense that he was not reaching his fullest potential, even though he was WWE champion. It didn't feel like it was a fit. It didn't feel like he really belonged where he was, bro. And it kind of felt like WWE was making him something he wasn't, right? So his ambition to become his true self eventually led him to AEW, and now he wrestles as Jon Moxley, doing some of his best work. And I think at the end of this year, Jon Moxley would have been in AEW longer than he was in WWE, which is an impressive stat, really, right? Because now, in AEW, he can finally be unhinged as he wants. The most violent and sadistic person that you could imagine. He can be him. Nah, I'm saying that like it's a good thing. He has done some terrible things. The Death Riders are not good people. Claudio Castagnoli, I am aware of you. You're quiet, but you scare me the most. You are a dictator, sir. I will talk about the Death Riders. Make a note. It's gonna go here. It's gonna go here. Trust me. Anyways, Seth himself, his his ambition, guys, this is not my first language, but his ambition eventually purified itself, right? Over time, it purified itself. He became the visionary, and he's constantly evolving, bro. His core never changed. He still wants to be the absolute best wrestler in the world. Right now, he's leading a stable, bro. And it's the living embodiment of ambition being the driving factor of a wrestler. And that's why he is as successful as he is right now. Ambition. I will talk about that too. I will talk about that too, guys. This is the first episode of MandiMania. Guys, I'm just yapping, guys. Just yapping right now. But let's apply this. Let's try to apply this, right? Because I feel like this pattern exists everywhere in wrestling. Stone Cold's ambition was to be heard in a company that wanted him silent. The Undertaker's ambition was to create something timeless. Punk's ambition was to prove being the best wrestler mattered more than the politics. There are some people saying he's a politician right now. I don't really care about that. Really, honestly, this is not the type of show that MandiMania is. We're not going to talk about the politics. But even heels, bro, are driven by ambition. Even them. I mean, Triple H's ambition was to be seen as the king. MJF's ambition is to be recognized as better than everyone. Roman Reigns, as the tribal chief, his ambition is to be acknowledged as the head of the table, right? Comedy wrestlers. You'll think, oh, the comedy wrestler, that guy isn't. How can this jobber be ambitious? He's stuck in the undercard doing silly, stupid stuff. Zack Ryder is not. He's going woo 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 like an idiot. You don't think there's ambition underneath that? There's guys like R-Truth, right? His ambition is to entertain, stay relevant, just put a smile on people's faces. Now he's a household name. He got fired. People were fighting to get him back. He was back like less than a week. Orange Cassidy. A lot of people want to hate Orange Cassidy. If you don't know Orange Cassidy blew up. He trended for being a lazy wrestler. Not lazy in the sense that he doesn't put in the effort, but like he wrestles with his hand in his pockets. It's the best thing you'll ever see, and he doesn't try, and he's just the coolest guy ever. I want to talk about Orange Cassidy's run so bad, bro. But yeah. Let's get back to it. Yeah, there's just like you can find ambition everywhere, bro. Right? His ambition, I think, is to prove that you don't need to try hard to be great. And honestly, I feel like that's also a bit of a lie, because Orange Cassidy works his ass off. He was champion for damn near a year, and you can see the passion in almost every one of those title defenses. Oh yeah, I mentioned that teams form because of their individual ambitions aligning together. Look at FTR. Look at FTR right now. Look at them. Their ambition is to wanting to prove that they're the best tag team in the world. Right? Sheamus and Cesaro. They were beating each other up for 7 matches, and then eventually ended up being one of the best tag teams in the world, forming the Bar, right? And they also break up when those ambitions clash, though, or when one partner's individual ambition outgrows the team. I mean, you even have brothers, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, who break up because they just want different things. It's just there, man. It's not. I've been sitting in that awkward position for this whole video. I'm sorry, I had to move. But every character, right? Every character, every storyline, every moment that's ever made you feel something about wrestling, it all comes back to ambition. It's the MacGuffin. The champion. I used to think that the championship was the MacGuffin, but actually, after or you're just like chasing their dream, or if you're just like booing. If you're booing the most maniacal man in the world, if you're just booing Randy Orton from 2008, bro, it just, I don't know, bro. You're witnessing the same fundamental human drive that exists in every single human being, and that's what makes wrestling beautiful. I think, in my opinion, that's what makes it beautiful. It's not just like the fact that they're chasing championships, they're chasing glory, they want to be famous, they want to have money. I mean, that is a motivation, but also I think that part of it has to do with watching people pursue their ambitions in the most dramatic way possible, and seeing how that pursuit just transforms them into heroes, villains, legends, or just like tales, cautionary tales, right? Because like now when I watch WWE, I think it's something that you should do too. When you're watching Raw, when you're watching Dynamite or Impact, just ask yourself, what is this wrestler's ambition? How is this driving that story? How exactly has this changed them? I feel like that has exponentially enhanced my experience of watching professional wrestling. Cause we know now that wrestling is like, it's a show, right? But I feel like we can't watch wrestling the same way we used to watch wrestling maybe 15 years ago. We have to watch it for its underlying themes, right? What exactly is this telling us? Once you see ambition as wrestling's universal language, bro, you'll understand, like, that's just why we can't stop watching. But you guys can let me know in the comments, right? What wrestler's ambition story resonates with you the most? And Also, what examples of ambition driving wrestler storylines did I miss? Because I know I didn't mention everyone. 20 something minutes is not enough, bro. But yeah, how long until do another take? I'll do another take. Or maybe I won't.